Hello everyone, and I welcome you all to another video of our front-end web development series in which we are at the introduction of HTML. Alright, so in the previous video we talked about what are the different front-end um, languages and frameworks, and we learned a little about HTML, like what is HTML, and tried to get a snippet of HTML code as well. Alright, so here we are going to talk about the anatomy of the HTML tag. Alright, so this thing, if I write h1 hello world, right? So this whole thing is called an HTML tag. Alright, this is the HTML element h1. Alright, these are the opening brackets. Inside there is content, opening bracket, and then we have a closing bracket. Alright, this is content. This is an opening bracket. Alright, so we can like clearly see what this h1 is doing, right? You can say rather than okay, if we somehow ignore these terms, we can say H1 is basically hypermarking this thing, right? Like I told you, like in the previous or in the old eras, uh, writers mark things and wanted to know the publishers that they get it, like what it is. Suppose I write this means it has to be a heading. If I have to write a book, I'll write this thing and I'll just underline it. Alright. So we can say that in a similar way, our browser is our publisher. Okay. And these H1, these opening and closing tags, what are these? These basically request browser asking to structure and display the plain text into a web design that the user or the developer wants. Alright. So we talked about what is like an HTML tag is and what it does exactly, and we talked about the anatomy of it. Alright. Again, one thing I am missing here is okay, we have talked about H1 and about the closing bracket. But in the previous video, we also looked at BR as well, right? Hmm. How to like we know like if we go back to our pen, we can see that okay, I have that BR. So let's add it. Hmm. All right, that is it. I can have it in a better way as well. Just give me one minute. If I like write it like this, and then I have H2 here as well. All right, this looks far better. Hmm. All right. So this is a code, and we can see that BR is not having a tag. All right. Wait a minute. Yeah, BR is not having a closing tag, right? So what does that mean? So that means BR is a self. My bad. Yeah, it is a self-closing tag, right? I might be wondering how I know about what is a self-closing tag and what needs a closing tag. So we go to our documentation. Just go to devdocs.io. Okay. And here go to HTML and go to elements and you can find every element possible. So let's go to BR. Alright. and go down, and you can see this tag omission that it must have a start tag and must not have an end tag. Alright, and we write this element as this or just simply br. Alright, and another one we can look for is header. Header one, right? H1, H2, H3, like that. You can see tag omission. Both the starting and ending tags are mandatory. Alright, H1. Go, you see. Both tag, both the starting and ending tags are mandatory. Alright, that's good. Yes. Okay, another thing which we can look for is, see, we have this line here. It's not above, but if we have this line here and here, that would look good, right? So we can go to HR for it, alright? Horizontal rule. You can like read about the elements here as well. The horizontal rule basically represents a thematic breaks between paragraph level elements, change of scene and scenario, or a shift of topic with a section. Alright. Hmm. Like this. Right. And we can see the tag omission must have a start tag but not have an end tag. Alright. Let's have HR here. Hmm. Okay, cool. Now, one thing I want you to know is that sometimes when you're looking at a site, you want to, know how a specific element has been defined or styled, right? And you must be wondering how to do that. So simply you can do one thing, go to that element. Suppose I go to this line, I click on this line, and there's this lower thing, inspect. So click on this. Okay. Yeah, you can see simply HR is written here, right? So like I can see this is H2, this is H1. Similarly, different styles I can look for, right? So that's how we basically inspect any site to know how specific things are written in HTML stack. Alright. So I guess that was it for this video. I hope you learned about anatomy of HTML tag and learned about how to learn about a specific tag. Alright, like suppose we learned about what is HR, what is H1, and what about the tag omission and everything. Alright, so I guess that's it for this video, and we'll continue in the next video onwards about the HTML. And until then, good